Hi, it's Rachel with the Book Mavens, and I thought I would do a little bit, I shouldn't say a little bit, I'm going to do a book haul with you of all of the special editions and kind of special book purchases or gifts that I got during the month of October. It was my birthday, and I did get a few books as gifts, and I wanted to be able to share those with you. And I did, for whatever reason, there were a lot of special editions that I had previously ordered that came in this month, so I'm very excited. I do have a whole bunch that are supposed to come in for the month of November as well, so I'm excited to be able to open those up and share those with you. Now, Fairy Loot and Illumicrate were very, very late with the October box. Illumicrate is not sending one out until, I think it's been sent, it's just not here yet. I don't think I'll get it until maybe this week or next week. And when that one comes in, I set aside my Fairy Loot box, which I just got today, and I'm going to do a book box battle. I know you guys really like those, so I'm going to hold off so we can compare those two boxes. And excuse my hair, I'm doing something interesting. I'm letting my bangs kind of grow out, and they're trying to do like these curtain bang things, but it's kind of a hot mess, so I apologize that I look so scruffy in all of my recent videos. All right, so let's get to the stack. It is quite a large stack. Sorry, it's a little bit off camera. You can't quite see how tall it is, but so yeah, it's a good size stack. So we're going to go through these and please let me know in the comments what you think, if you've read these titles, how you felt about them. All right, so the first one is the Goldsboro edition of All of Our Demise. This is the sequel to oh my goodness, If We Were Villains. Is that the first one? All of Us Villains. See, I mix the All of Us Villains up. No, wait. Yeah, All of Us Villains. If We Were Villains. I don't know. There's another book that has a different title that I always get confused about. Doesn't matter. Anyway, but this is the sequel to If We Were Villains. And so here is the second one, the sequel. I haven't read it yet, so I don't have a whole lot to say. It did look very intriguing. I'm always interested in kind of morally gray storylines, which this sounds right up my alley. I do think it's interesting. I don't have, it's over there on the shelf, the first book. The red is a slightly different color, but hopefully it kind of, well, this one matches the cover we've got going on here, the stenciled edge. But the first book has a red background as well, but with black leaves all over it. So it is slightly different, but I really like it. I hope they're good. I've heard good things. And so this one is $4.89 out of 1,500 copies, and it's signed by the author. So I'm very excited to eventually get to this one. And then, let's see. In terms of non-special editions, I did for my birthday, my mom got me a hardcover set of the Poppy War books. So I'm excited to have these because I love to talk about these books and the impact they had. But in terms of me really looking to reread them, I don't know. So if you guys have ever seen the memes that talk about, you know, like book lovers and book readers, that sometimes we just like to have physical copies that are kind of like evidence that we read them. This is one of those series. Like, these are trophies to go on the shelf. I read these books in their entirety. I have lots to say about them. It was a very intense read. I just don't know if I'm emotionally capable of handling a reread of these books. But I do love owning them. My other copies were digital, so I'm really happy to have like a hardcover set. And they're beautiful. The covers are gorgeous of these books. So I'm happy to have them. They're really stunning. And yes, they're definitely trophy status for the shelf. All right. And then I finally got, these were quite delayed. So these were from Fae Crate, and it's the Aisling Sea books. I don't know if there's going to be a third one. If it's just a duology, they're another set that I haven't read, but they have these beautiful gilded edges. How beautiful. And so here we go. So on these black sands and from these dark depths, these books. Now, I don't love the covers, but just wait. Look at these books naked. And I do believe that they're signed. Yes, they are signed. they came with plates. All right, so looking at these books, I'm gonna show them. They do have reverse jacket art, which is cool. It's character art. All right, very nice, very nice. I'm kind of ambivalent about it, but the naked book is really cool. Look at that, with those gilded edges. I will absolutely be displaying them naked. There's no question about it. I think these are really, really beautiful. And these were done by Fake Rate. Fake Rate is kind of a controversial company within the book collecting realm. They tend to be really heavily delayed, but I can't really say anything negative about the quality of the books. I think they're really beautiful. I'm looking forward to reading them. And it has a nice little author letter inside. There's no interior art though, but very nice. So this is the first one, and then I'm going to show you the naked one of the second, because I was really impressed with the art on these ones. So this is the reversible jacket for the sequel. Some more character art. I don't always know how I feel about the character art when they don't put like the title of the book on them. Like, it would have to be, I think, for me to really enjoy just having character art, it would have to be an artist that I really liked, like Monolime, or oh, who's the other one that I really like? Oh shoot, my brain's really fuzzy. Sorry, I'm on Benadryl. I'm fighting off a cold, so the names escape me. But there are some artists that, you know, possibly. I actually think that it looks really cool to have the character art out if you have more than one set of the books, which I know seems extreme, but some people collect more. So then you can kind of intersperse them if they have really beautiful character art and if you really like the original cover. So I like to have options. So this is the naked cover. Look at how cool that is. I just love it. And look at the back on this one. It has mermaids on it. Oh, I just love it. I think they're really stunning, and they're gonna look really pretty on my Pirates and Mermaid shelf, because I'm gonna have a Pirates and Mermaid shelf, I've determined. And let's see, then I also got, I think it's Leela and the Blue Fox. This is actually more of like a middle grade, even an elementary read, but it was so beautiful. And look at the cute little paw prints on the side. It was so cute. This is from Waterstones. This actually just came in, and it is signed by the author. And it has these really beautiful like illustrations inside. I'm really looking forward to reading this with my kids. And so it has these really cool kind of opaque pages. How beautiful is that? And I just saw it and I thought, man, this would just be a really cool book to have in the collection. And it just looked really nice. I like this. So it's like, across the ice and across the sea, Fox and Leela's adventures are just beginning. So it sounds really beautiful. So I'm really excited about this. I hope that my kids really enjoy it too. All right, so then I got my sequel to 6 Crimson Cranes. Now these aren't done through Waterstones or Goldsboro. I don't have Fairy Loot's 6 Crimson Cranes copy. I don't. So here's the thing. I'm going to pause and I'm going to get the other one so you guys can see the different covers, because I think both sets, the US covers and the UK covers, are really gorgeous, and I want you guys to be able to see them close together. Okay. Okay, so the UK cover looked like this for 6 Crimson Cranes. So this is the first one. This one I had purchased from an Etsy artist who did the sprayed edges. I really liked Fairy Loots just because it had kind of a little tongue-in-cheek thing about the 6 Crimson Cranes, that there was a 7th crane, and it's this one here, that's very significant to the story. So if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. And I really liked that they had included that. And so I was just having a really hard time finding a copy of Fairy Loots that was reasonably priced. And it was next to impossible. So I just went ahead and just bought one like this. I mean, to me, it didn't really matter so much because Fairy Loot kept the original art for the most part. I think they changed some of the background color, but I thought the cover itself was just beautiful. So I did get it. It's a little bit more of a custom spray job. just so I could have that 7th crane. So I was really happy with that. It's really beautiful. I love the pastels, but they went such a different direction with the US cover. So this is the US cover. All right, really beautiful. I like that we go from something that's like a pastel to something that's far more like primary colored with all of the red. And so I had Dazzling Bookish Shop, which I really like. I really like that company. They also do a book box that is more queer centered, which I like. But I'm not a subscriber to that one, but they have beautiful editions that they custom spray there as well. So they had this beautiful one, but it only had the 6 cranes, not the special one. But I really liked it because I really wanted to be able to have a matching set. And they put out, so I've had 6 Crimson Cranes, but the Dragon's Promise released, so it finally came in October. So this is what the sequel looks like, so you can see them. So these were the US covers. So I did have Dazzling, what is it, Sprayed Edges, Bookish, whatever, that this is their design for the 2nd one. So really beautiful. I'm excited. I have this one wrapped in some of the Goldsboro stuff. I haven't wrapped this one yet, but so these ones go together. I'm very happy about it. It doesn't bother me in the slightest that they're different. The font is the same. It's just a different color. I do think they kind of go along well with each other. If you know the story, which I've read this one, I haven't read this one yet, but I know what's coming in this one. The setting's very different. So the 6 cranes are very apparent on this one, but you'll see that her journey picks up and it becomes far more involved with dragons. So I like that they kind of changed up the colors. I think that's really fun. However, with the UK cover, as far as I can tell, they kind of kept with the same color scheme. It's still really more on the pastel side, but it's definitely more dragon oriented. So, okay. So here's my saga once again with the Fairy Loot and the UK covers. I just wasn't a subscriber in time, like I already told you, to be able to get the 6 Crimson Crane special edition. But I was one of the people who was really on top of when the sequel released. So I was able to get the stenciled edge. It was a whole controversy. They didn't have very many of the stenciled edge of A Dragon's Promise, but I was able to get one. But I do have it prearranged to trade, actually, for the Prison Healer's 2nd book. I have the 1st and the 3rd one. You'll see the 3rd one here in a minute because that came this month. But I have to wait for my Dragon's Promise to come in because I do have a prearranged trade to be able to complete that trilogy, because I wasn't so concerned after getting my US copies, which I determined that I actually like them more than these ones. To have it, since I don't have the 1st Fairy Loot book, so they won't match, they won't be identical. So I'm okay letting it go. I did keep this one because of that 7th, and I found that to be very significant. And I'm happy to have it, but I don't feel the need to have the sequel in the UK cover. So I'm happy to trade it, and I'm happy to be able to complete a different trilogy. So we've got that one, and then I got these Twisted Bonds in. So this is the sequel to the duology, These Hollow Vows. I haven't read it yet, but the sequel came in. This is also another one of them where they had really limited amounts of the stenciled edge. So I do have the stenciled edge. So they did release more of them, but they have the solid blue sprayed edges and not the stencil. And people were really worked up about that. So this one is signed by the author, so you can see it's the Fairy Loot edition. It does have some reverse art, so you can see heavy foiling detail. This one's okay. Sometimes I think they overdo it with the foil. It gets to be a little intense where you can't see the picture, but it does have really nice character art on the reverse jacket. I am somebody that prefers the character art for the most part to be inside the book. And this one does not have the character end pages. I think it just works better there because then you can actually turn and look at it as opposed to having to refer back and like take the jacket off and stuff to see it. But this is the sequel. And then I've got my GSFF book for October, which was Silver Under Nightfall, which is a vampire story. So I'm excited to read that. I haven't read like a really decent vampire one until I read it, A Dowry of Blood. So kind of excited to go back to it. I remember for a while there, you had Vampire Burnout, where it just seemed like every fantasy book was vampire inspired. But I'm happy to revisit, and we'll see how we do. So this was $11.99 out of 2,000 number copies. I'm pretty new to GSFF. I don't have a very low number, which is okay. I'm not too worried about that. I just like it that they do those sprayed edges. It's really nice, and they always come signed by the author, so I appreciate that. So I'm excited to read this one. The sprayed edges are kind of underwhelming, but it sounds like a cool book. I'm certainly happy to have it, and I'll certainly read it. So, Silver and Nightfall. If you've read this, let me know if it was any good. All right. And then I've got I got The Ballad of Never After. Okay, so this is the Goldsboro edition. I do have the Barnes & Noble special editions of Once Upon a Broken Heart and this one. Okay, so here's my issue with Stephanie Garber. I've talked to you guys about the Caraval series. I did not like the Caraval series. I hate when people compare the beauty that is the Night Circus with the Caraval series. I don't think that they are the same kind of book. Just because there's a circus doesn't mean that you should recommend the Night Circus and Caraval to the same reader. They're very different reading experiences. I did not particularly love Caraval. Now, however, I have been told that Once Upon a Broken Heart and the sequel, The Ballad of Never After, were better, and people like this one better. So I'm willing to give it a shot. However, I do not have Once Upon a Broken Heart in the Goldsboro edition. It's actually really tricky to find. But I did get The Ballad of Never After, just in case if I run across one, then I'll get it. But I do have the Barnes & Noble ones. Anyway, but these comes in a really cool sprayed edge. I believe the first one's similar in design. But what was really cool about the UK hardcovers is that they had all of these like hidden covers. So there was like 4. So I got the shield. So this is what it looks like. But there was a dragon. I was really hoping for the dragon, but I didn't get it. And I certainly wasn't going to go crazy. Some people ordered tons of copies, not with the Goldsboro, but just with like the regular one, the hardcover, or Waterstones. And they ordered so many just to try and get, either they wanted like the full, all 4. I mean, those are some hardcore fans. See, I haven't even read them. I'm not, I'm not that hardcore. I was willing to try it for one book, but I wasn't willing to go down that rabbit hole, just to get like the dragon cover, which was the most popular. And I believe the first set also did the hidden covers, and I think it was the fox that was the most popular with the first book. But once again, happy to have it. I'm looking forward to reading it. I have my TBR. I keep buying books. And my TBR just keeps growing. I just can't keep up with them. All right. I will eventually get to everything though. I promise myself. All right. So here is the 3rd Prison Healer book, The Blood Trader. I do not have the second one, which I think is The Gilded Cage. So, like I said before, that is the one I'm trading. That's what I'm trading for with A Dragon's Promise. So I hope to get that to be able to complete the trilogy. But I do have the first one. I do have the Prison Healer Fairy Loot edition. So it's really cool. It's got a really cool stencil design. I do kind of like these simpler ones. I think that they're really neat. This one is signed. And let's see, it also has some, this one feels like it's bound a little funky. Not the rest of it, just this front cover. It always just feels so loose. But it has some fun character foiling. And then it has some character art on the back. You can see it. So I am really looking forward to reading this. I've heard it compared to Throne of Glass, which you guys know that is my favorite Sarah J. Maas series. And I hope that it gives me similar vibes since I am investing in the entire trilogy. We'll see how that goes. All right. And then I got, oops, I don't know what that's doing there. So this is the Waterstones edition of Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Maniscalco. I already did a review of this. I just didn't have a book in hand. I do not have the other Waterstones editions. It does come with this cool sprayed edge. I will most likely be giving this away. But because I do have Fairy Loots coming. I don't think this is signed. No, this one wasn't signed. So I will have the completed Kingdom of the Wicked set. This series was such a letdown. Kingdom of the Wicked was actually a really decent book. It could have gone a lot of different directions. The directions that the author chose to take with this series was weird. There was like just so many plot holes. But if you're interested, I already did a review about the series and about the third book and how, you know, my thoughts and feelings. So feel free to look back through the videos to check that out. But not my favorite, but I can't stand to just have an incomplete series, especially since I read it. So I will keep my fairy lit editions because they have the beautiful black with the white flowers stenciled on them, and I will be sure to show you the entire set together when that third book comes in. But like I said, I already did a review on this book. It was not my favorite. I will probably be giving this to a student and letting it go. Let's see. Oh, and then my last ones I got from, who is it? She's in India. Custom Sprayed Edges is the name of her shop. I will say I was not happy with how this woman shipped. She had these in a bag just wrapped with some bubble wrap instead of in a box. They needed to be in a box. India's a long way. and so like the corners came a little busted up and the jackets have worn spots from just friction. But I got the Magic Steeped in Poison and a Venom Dark and Sweet. So these are the covers. I just love, this is the original cover art. So the only thing that's special about these are the sprayed edges. So I'm gonna show those to you in just a second. But how beautiful are these books? They're so beautiful. And that's why I'm so mad that they came kind of banged up. Not gonna lie. But look at these edges. Look at those together. I mean, that's how I will display them. But you see that I'm annoyed that they came kind of banged up. But those edges are really, really gorgeous. Now I have a few other sets that I ordered. The shipping's astronomical. I am going to request that she package them better because I don't even mind sending her a little extra money for a box if it means that my books come in one piece, because she's not cheap and I would rather have them come in perfect shape than be banged up. So, however, her sprayed edge work is beautiful and I'm very, very happy with the work that she did. I'm just not happy with how she shipped them, but really, really stunning. And they are sprayed on the top and the bottom as well. But those fish, gorgeous. And I haven't read these ones either. I will. They're short reads. I did hear that the first one, this one, was better. So we'll have to see how it goes. But I do love those together. I think they're really pretty. So that's it. So I had several books to show you, as you can see. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about any of these editions. Which ones did you like? If you've read them, please let me know what you thought of them. Very, very heavy on the YA. But I certainly hope some of these series are good. And I will definitely keep you guys in the loop. So I look forward to the next book unboxing or review. I have read several books I do want to talk about with you. And I look forward to seeing you next time.